Nikola Jokić.
Tim Duncan.
Nikola Jokić.
Tim Duncan.
Nikola Jokić.
Two-man game.
Carroll's guarding him.
Jamal Murray to
Out to
Jokić.
Ginobili.
Jokić backs up
Timmy.
for the win.
For the win.
Got it. Tim Duncan. Jokić fires it. Oh my God. Go ahead with your bad self, Tim Duncan.
On this episode of NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two celebrated big men whose unique impact went way beyond their small market franchises.
This international star is hands down the best passing center in NBA history.
His footprint puts him in the conversation as the greatest power forward the NBA has ever seen.
In a league with its fair share of trash talkers, their play always spoke louder than words.
We are eager to present to you Nikola Jokić and Tim Duncan. I'm Uriah.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Ben.
And we are here to talk NBA
Now and Then.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm here along with Lucas, Ben, and Maurice. And this comparison today is going to be fun because the two big men that we're going to be juxtaposing, they've had a pretty significant impact, not just on the franchises that drafted them, but the entire league. So let's start off with the fundamental question. Interesting, I said the word fundamental.
Yeah, I was about to say, you made a nod there. I see what you did there.
It was by accident. Yeah. So let's talk about why we are comparing Nikola Jokić to Tim Duncan. I'm going to go to Lucas first because he was really advocating for this comparison. Lucas, why are we talking these players today?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why, and I'll let you guys cover most of them. But the main thing here is that these guys were, in terms of skill, they were the best players of their respective eras. Jokić right now, Tim during the early 2000s, mid to late 2000s. But despite being the best players of their generation, they were never the face of the league, and that's because they were quiet superstars.
Yeah, can't argue that. They definitely don't like the spotlight. We could talk about Jokic's press conferences. We could talk about Tim Duncan's attire, kind of dismissive about basketball itself. Like he loves the game, but the game doesn't make him. That's a good point. What about you, Ben?
Their style of play is very, it's just fundamentally sound. They don't make any mistakes. They have an incredible touch. They just do everything right on the court. And they're incredibly durable as well.
Yeah.
They're very rarely injured, so they don't really play. Maybe that's why they're not injured, because they don't play that much above the rim. Although right. Tim was a good defender, but I would say that's what stands out. When you think about these guys, you think about like just fundamentals, and they're very disciplined, and they make very few mistakes on the court.
Yeah, and although Jokić does have the ability to kind of be flashy with his passes, his offensive skill, like just scoring in general, is not flashy. He's not doing reverse layups, but so often. And if I've ever seen him do a reverse layup.
As Stephen A. Smith would say, this guy can't even jump onto a curve.
They just like play their own pace, both guys.
Yes. Pace is everything with those guys.
Their game was cerebral.
It was. That's what it was. Maurice, what about you?
Yeah, like Lucas has said with the Stephen A. quote, two guys who were never considered the most athletic. You never see athletic outbursts of any kind with these two players, but they were always, in most cases, I'll say most cases, the best players on the court each and every night.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do anything out of the ordinary. They just had to play ball and play with the fundamentals, like you said, that they were trained and worked on throughout their lives. They were game changers.
Yeah, speaking of game changers, Maurice, both players, the way I see it, is no matter what roster surrounded them, what coaches or assistant coaches came and went in San Antonio or Denver, both Jokić and Duncan were always impactful whenever they were on the floor. Like whatever players they had on their side, their games were consistent. And I think that goes to what Ben said. They didn't get injured much. And they just always seem to be reliable. You know, whatever their skill set brought to the team, defense or offense, I think both these guys are consistent. And that is one of the biggest reasons why we're talking about him. So, that being said, you guys all set?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
First quarter. Background.
All right, it's time to talk about the Big Tipper, a.k.a. Big Honey, a.k.a. the Joker.
The Big Tipper.
The Big Tipper.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that one.
Before he got those nicknames, though, he was born Nikola Jokić on February 19th, 1995 in Sombor, Serbia, a small town with a population of about 40,000 residents. Mm-hmm. He recalls how beautiful his hometown is, and Jokić even says that it reminds him of where he plays in Denver currently. Jokić grew up with two older brothers. I'm sure we all know that. Nemanja and Strahinja. Their parents and grandmother, they all grew up in a small 2-bedroom apartment. Side note, Nemanja, his brother, played college ball in the States. Does anybody know where?
I did.
Do, but I looked it up once. So I'll go last.
I have no clue, so you guys can take it.
Can you give us the conference? Can you give us the conference that he played
It's such a small school. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It's a big city, like a big city. Like they have professional sports teams. It's in the Midwest. But
Chicago, Loyola.
No, but you're close. But so the university is the name of the city. It's in like a tiny conference, like the Patriot League, kind of.
Oh gosh, Toledo. Oh gosh, I don't know, guys. I had two very good guesses.
Bad Boys.
I told you guys I didn't watch that.
Detroit Mercy.
Oh.
Yeah, Detroit Mercy.
Yeah, I told you guys that last recording.
Miami. No, you're right. They could have gone Miami. You're right.
Yeah. That's funny. That is funny.
I thought I had a really good guess with Chicago Loyola. I'm just saying.
Well,
Detroit Community College. I don't know.
Yeah. His brother played for Detroit Mercy, which I didn't know. So I found that interesting. Now, Jokić, when he was younger, his phys ed teacher from Serbia was interviewed, and there's a quote. They said that Jokić loved playing with the ball more than anything. On the other hand, I had to push him to do. There were certain things that Jokić didn't like doing in gym class. I'll give you a choice. He didn't like running, swimming, or gymnastics. Which one do you guys think he hated?
It's clearly running, because I remember seeing pictures of him when he was a teenager. He did not enjoy running.
He was a big kid.
It's got to be running.
It's like him and Marcus all had the same physique when they were teenagers.
Maurice?
I'm going to be different. I'm going to say gymnastics.
All right. Maurice, keep that smile on your face because you're correct.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so in Serbia... Doing cartwheels.
By the way, I just want to note, he said small town of 4,000. My town right now only has 500 and some odd people.
40,000.
It's 40,000. That's not small.
Well, compared to most big cities. So, yeah. So Jokić was not flipping or, doing cartwheels on the mats in gym.
Well, we did say he wasn't athletic.
True. Now, when he was 14, Jokić would actually, like a lot of European players, they would watch YouTube. He would watch YouTube to catch his first glimpses of NBA action. In a Slam Mag interview, he mentioned watching two players on YouTube consistently. Can you give me either one?
Can you give us a decade?
They're just popular players overall. Maurice?
No decade. How about Tim Duncan?
All right, Ben?
Kobe and Iverson.
All right, Lucas?
Dirt and Jason Kidd.
All right, I guess the only person that said a name was Ben. So Jokić, according to the interview, grew up watching Kobe and Michael Jordan on YouTube.
I figured one of them was going to be a guard, but I thought it was a point guard.
I thought he was going to say Magic Johnson, someone that likes to pass, right?
I actually thought, after thinking about it, I thought maybe Kukoc?
Yeah, because he's from that region.
Okay.
Yeah.
The YouTube back then, you got to think 15 years ago, there wasn't that much content.
Guys, it's not even 15 years ago. We're talking 2003.
Yeah.
20 years ago. That's where we're at now.
Yeah. Around that same age, Jokić, he started getting into racehorsing, as an amateur, he actually raced in a competition one time, and he took 4th place in the horse racing competition. So does
How can he ride a horse? I'm sorry, he's like so tall though.
Yeah, but he was 14. He was 14, so
Okay.
can't be that big.
Well,
but,
some kids sprout early.
Yeah. We did talk about height a lot last episode. So let's go to Maurice first. What stands out to you about Jokić growing up in a small Serbian town?
Not much else to do but play basketball. I think we said this before about another player. I forget it was. He grew up in Oklahoma. There's not much to do, but
right.
Work on your skills. It's good that he has a hobby, horse racing. I think he got his second MVP while he was riding a horse, and like his teammates and his coach came over there. I'm sorry.
It's funny. I'm thinking of the video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the video's hilarious.
Yeah. He was riding the horse. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums up his personality.
No, the commercial with him and Anthony Edwards was it Anthony? No, it was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at the hotel with the horse, right?
Yes. I think that was the video. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. I love that one.
All right, Ben, what about you? Anything stand out?
I mean, Serbia is kind of Eastern Europe in general. Like a lot of these countries are a little more simpler, I would say, like post-communism. My family's from Eastern Europe. So that's kind of like not surprising, the gymnastics stuff, horse racing. Yeah, nothing really surprising with this guy. Kind of what Maurice was just saying, that he's kind of iconic for how much he doesn't care about. So that's his past doesn't surprise me. It's like I could see him just being like, he picked up basketball and was like, whatever. And like,
oh, ball, put in hoop. Yes, I like.
Yeah.
Lucas, what about you?
The basketball connection, the horse racing stuff, that, I grew up with horses too. Now, I never got into racing, never got into anything more than casual riding.
Nice.
Yeah, you learned something new about me. Huh?
Yeah. You are now the horse whisperer. Thank you for giving us a new nickname for you.
No, I am not. Yeah, just look, the fact that, he probably had a choice at one point. Do you want to get into horse racing or basketball? Because that is a competitive sport, but we know that horse racing, you usually need to be rather small to do that, and he is 7 foot, probably 250 pounds minimum.
The opposite,
So the choice was made for him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, his genetics kind of led him down the path of basketball, and I'm glad that happened because he's a phenomenal player to watch.
Oh, and one other thing. I find it interesting. Can you say the brothers' names again?
Nemanja and Strahinja.
Okay. Those two sound like they could be brothers. And then you have Nikola out of left field. Like sometimes parents have the siblings' names that sound similar. And when you have two siblings that have their names sound similar, you usually have the third one. And then Nikola was just, no, not even close. I
think they're cool names. I just think they're all unique.
They're cool names. I'm not complaining about the names.
And that's like a really common name. There was a couple of them on his team. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Yeah. There were like two or three Nikolas.
Yeah.
No, there's like 5 or 6 Nikolas in the NBA right now.
Yeah, so it's a common name.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these dudes like Luka, they act real casual about basketball, but it's very strict, as we just saw in the Olympics. Like these guys are playing just as young as we are in the States.
Yeah.
And it's really disciplined, and the government is like, basketball is like the main sport in these countries.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I guess, it was weird because you would think it would be soccer, but nope.
Now a lot of these ones, it's basketball now.
Yeah.
So in Serbia, basketball was not the only popular sport he could have chosen to play. Jokić was asked what other sports were big in Serbia when he grew up, and he said tennis was really big in his country. Any guesses what international tennis star made tennis popular in Serbia? I'll go to Ben first.
Oh, he just won the Olympics.
Novak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Novak Jokić. Yeah.
Jokić. Yeah.
The first Joker before Nikola.
That is true. Yeah.
Yes. He was actually one of my favorite players when I first started tuning into tennis.
He's great. At the end of the day, Jokić obviously chose basketball. So let's fast forward to his teen years. According to NBA.com, when he was 16, he left Sombor for the capital city, Belgrade, to play for the KK Mega Basket League. At 17, he did have a slow start. In 5 games, Jokić only averaged 1.8 points and 2 rebounds in 10 minutes per game. But then Jokić quickly adjusted to the big city life, and he began dominating the Adriatic League. By the age of 20, he was named MVP of the Adriatic League, averaging 15.4 points, 9.3 boards. First over-under of the day. Number of assists he averaged his MVP season in Serbia. Over-under 5. Lucas?
I got a feeling it's under.
All right, Maurice?
I'm going to go over.
And Ben?
Over.
Maurice and Ben, this is for you.
I knew it. I felt like
That was tricky.
Like,
it's tricky.
No, because like they don't play as long as we do,
Right.
and his numbers were already subdued in his scoring and rebounds. So I was like, it's probably around 4.
He only averaged 3.5 assists.
Wow, that's even less than I thought.
MVP season. Yeah, I was shocked when I read that. In just 3 years, Jokić went from his hometown and playing in the Adriatic League to getting drafted into the NBA. He told Slam Mag that adjusting to Denver was difficult. The people, the food, the atmosphere. He said that what made his transition smoother was the fact that his brothers and his girlfriend came with him to the U.S. In 2014, Nikola Jokić was drafted in the second round into the NBA.
With the 41st pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Nikola Jokić from Sombor, Serbia. He last played for Mega Vizura in Serbia.
You were the 41st pick in the draft. A Taco Bell commercial was running when your pick was announced. What do you think of that now?
They believe in the fat boy, and it seems like it worked out. Yeah, don't bet against the fat boy.
All right. So what comes to mind about his experience transitioning to the U.S.?
Even though, and you went over his MVP numbers in the Adriatic League, even though he wasn't MVP in that league, even when he came to the NBA, he still took a couple years to really develop. A lot of teams really didn't see the potential at that time. Obviously, he went in the second round during the Taco Bell commercial, as we all know. So his skill set really took a little bit of time to develop in the NBA, but when it came, it came.
At the end of the day, the guy wasn't even drafted to be a starter there. Let's be clear. They had use of Nurkic.
Right.
But that's just, the Adriatic League was not known as like an elite European league. He was the MVP, and that still only got him the second round pick. So that's kind of it's kind of how crazy it was that he went underneath the radar.
Yeah, I always forget he sat a year too. So a lot of those guys drafted in 2014, the MVPs of 2014 didn't play right away. And I remember, I think he made the all-rookie first team. I'll know that. The end of his rookie year, I remember he kind of developed, and you saw the passing right away. So for me, I remember him right away being like, oh, this guy should have been top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, real quick, these international players like Jokić and Giannis, had they played college, because Tim Duncan's second international, what would they have gone if he did a year?
Oh, that's a good point. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I think they would be number 1 or top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
like Joel, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think his size probably caused some teams to be reluctant looking at him in that type of league that was not known for its basketball, being able to keep up with the bigs in the NBA who are quote unquote faster, stronger, more agile. But as we can clearly see, he proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's move over to the other side of the comparison. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the Stone Buddha, a.k.a. Old Man Riverwalk, a.k.a. Groundhog Day, a.k.a. the Big Fundamental. Did you guys know any of those? Stone
I knew Big Fundamental.
Yeah, I think we all knew that one.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day, did not know that existed. But prior to landing those nicknames, he was born Timothy Theodore Duncan on April 25th, 1976 in St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands. Duncan had a sister that was quite the athlete, representing the Virgin Islands in the 1988 Olympics as a swimmer. He, too, was an elite swimmer for his age. By 13, guys, he was on pace to be even better than his sister, and he was ranked the top 400-meter freestyle swimmer in the U.S., breaking the 50-meter and 100-meter freestyle records on his island. He was on his way to Michael Phelps status until something happened that forced him to shift his athletic focus. Does anybody know what major event kind of changed his whole athletic journey?
Not a clue.
No?
I actually do. I remember seeing this on NBA TV, like a little documentary. It was a hurricane, right?
Yes.
That's what I was going to guess. That's funny. I was going to guess that.
Yeah. In 1989, I remember this. Hurricane Hugo destroyed the Olympic pool that Tim Duncan trained in. So his family, well, they had to find something else for him to do. There was a basketball room that they had, but somehow it was spared from the storm's damage. And the St. Dunstan Episcopal High's basketball coach swooped in to convince Duncan to give basketball a try. His former principal was quoted in an ESPN article. Quote, he was a bit clumsy at first because it was something he had never done before, but you can tell, even then, that with a lot of guidance, he would succeed. Any other guesses what other sports he played on the island besides basketball?
Well, you mentioned swimming.
Well, swimming, but he played something else.
I feel like Lucas knows this.
He does know. He always says it.
Soccer.
No.
Oh, volleyball?
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Finally, someone plays volleyball besides Vince Carter and Joel, right. So Duncan played volleyball on the island, and his volleyball coach explained, quote, he was way above average in everything that he did. What made Tim Duncan above the rest was not only his physical height, but his level of concentration that carried into academics. Everything he put his hand to, he succeeded. Does anyone know who from the States scouted Tim Duncan for his basketball potential?
Well, it had to be a Wake Forest alumni, right?
Yeah,
so
you're warm.
I'm trying to think of Wake Forest alumni before him because I can only think of the ones after him.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think would fly to the island and actually go see Tim Duncan play from Wake Forest?
From Wake Forest? I don't know their alumni base.
Well, you don't need to know their name. What is their title?
Head coach?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, very good. I'll give you that, Lucas. So the name of the Wake Forest head coach at the time was Dave Odom. Although word had spread to the U.S. about Tim Duncan from some NBA rookies who actually visited St. Croix, it was like a tour that the NBA sent them on to boost the popularity in the Caribbean. It was Wake Forest head coach that took the financial risk of traveling to the island and scout a young Tim Duncan. Odom described Duncan as spindly and underdeveloped. He's quoted as saying, the thing that struck me about him was his presence. He had a quiet confidence about him as he watched Duncan play in a weekend pickup game. He didn't even watch like a real game. He watched a pickup game. All right, Ben, Tim Duncan, growing up on the island of St. Croix, what stands out?
The switch to be that elite at swimming. A lot of swimmers are NBA player height. That's kind of how it works. So I think there is even swimmers that are like 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah.
I'm not sure how tall was Phelps, like 6'6"?
At least
like
6'6".
Yeah. And it's interesting because swimming, it kind of focuses on like your core and it keeps you calm. And they say it's good for any sport. So it's interesting that was his sport. And then similarly, he was a very calm player and was very in control of his body. That's what stands out the most. And then it's kind of a cool story, the hurricane.
Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, and Maurice brought that up. Since he brought up the hurricane, what did you think about him growing up on the island?
One tragedy leads to a switch in a promising career and a Hall of Fame career. For me, even if you didn't know Tim Duncan was a swimmer, he always had a swimmer's body. But sometimes it comes down to happenstance. I don't know if that's the right word, or luck, where you're put in the right position and somebody notices you. And we've had the same conversation about Joel, where Luke Valmute does a camp and Joel just shows up there. And then next thing you know, he's at Candace and is one of the greatest players in the league now. Yeah. And the same thing happened with Tim Duncan. All you need is an opportunity. And he had his opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's the key word is opportunity. It was there. I mean, imagine if the hurricane didn't happen. I'm sure he would have picked up a ball at some point, but he would have been great at swimming. He would have been probably an Olympic legend at swimming and never even went on to the NBA. Never thought of that.
Hearing a head coach, not a college scout, but a college head coach going out to St. Croix just to see if this guy is a guy is huge. That's like Maurice said, is, unique happenstance.
Yeah.
And just like, you don't hear about recruiting stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, it just seems like scouts are targeting kids younger and younger in the AAU circuit, like you said, Lucas. And Ben, I actually swam competitively. And you're right. When you're swimming, you're just by yourself in your lane, and you have to monitor like your energy consumption, your reach, your kicking, like your breathing. So you have to maintain a level of, I guess, mental stability in your lane, and you have to focus. So yeah, swimming is a very intense sport, very intense. All right, let's talk about Tim Duncan at Wake Forest. So even though he possessed those physical attributes and the potential to dominate the NCAA, Duncan, believe it or not, was expected to redshirt his freshman year. But then Mark Blucas and Randolph Childress, you guys remember that name, Childress?
I remember Josh Childress, but not.
I'm showing my age right now. So it was complete crickets. Like, you guys are like, who's that? So the two senior captains, those are the two players that I mentioned, they noticed very quickly that redshirting for him was not going to fly. In an NBA.com article, after one pickup game with Duncan at Wake Forest, Blucas said, quote, "You could just tell. He was already playing like he belonged. He was so even-keeled and so competitive at the same time. I'll never forget looking at Randolph Childress and saying, hey, we got to tell Coach, don't redshirt this kid." So we went down there and we just told him. Duncan averaged almost a double-double as a freshman. By his junior year, he was one of the top players in the country. He could have entered the NBA draft and surely been a lottery pick, but he chose to stay until his senior year. Does anyone know why he played all 4 years?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think I remember. He promised his mom he would get his college degree before he went into the NBA.
Man, good job, Lucas.
Ooh,
Very good.
one,
Yeah.
Lucas.
You didn't even let the other guys try. Come on, you got to let them try.
I had no clue.
It was too late. You jumped in. You jumped in.
You
there.
didn't call on anybody.
Right.
So.
Sometimes I just
Okay.
let it flow. If I don't call on anybody, I just someone jump in.
I remember when in '96 he was supposed. Had he come out, he would have been the number one pick his junior year.
Over
But he
Iverson.
Over Iverson.
Yep, over Iverson. He was supposed. It would have been him or Iverson, but he could have been the number one pick.
Could you imagine Tim Duncan in Philadelphia? I don't think that would have worked.
Well, talent supersedes everything else.
Pretty much.
But
Pretty
like
much.
personality-wise, I don't think the city of Philly would have loved that.
Look, Tim Duncan and Jerry Stackhouse, that would have been a pretty good 1-2 punch at that point in history. So, yeah, Lucas is right. Unfortunately, when he was 14, Tim Duncan's mom passed away from cancer. So he decided to play all 4 years because, like Lucas said, he made a promise to her. So he went on to finish and get his degree in psychology. You guys want to hear his stats real quick?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So in 128 regular season college games, Tim Duncan averaged 16.5 points, 12.3 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. Over under the number of blocks he averaged at Wake Forest.
Gosh.
Over under 4 blocks a game. Lucas.
It's going to be over.
Okay. Maurice.
I got to say, first of all.
And Ben.
Over.
All right. You guys are all.
Wow.
Really? Okay.
Trick question. Close. He averaged 3.8.
Okay.
That's still a lot. So here's a few awards, that Tim Duncan got. By the end of his college career, Tim Duncan was only the 10th player in the history of NCAA D1 action to tally more than 2,000 points and 1,500 rebounds. He was a 3-time All-American, 2-time ACC Player of the Year, and he also helped lead his team to 4 straight 20-win seasons. He had the second most career blocks in NCAA history at 481, and he was the consensus National Player of the Year in 1997. He still holds the school record in double-doubles with 87. All right, let's go to Maurice first. What do you think about Tim Duncan at Wake Forest?
Well, I never remember Wake Forest to be like really competitive. when it came down to the tournament or anything like that. But I do remember Tim Duncan being the best player in college basketball. And when he got drafted, I knew, especially in that circumstance with the Spurs, and we talked about this on the David Robinson episode, they got lucky, in that position because they had injuries and they got to have that pick to take Tim Duncan.
Right.
And boy, he landed in a perfect spot.
Ooh, did he? Oh my goodness. And there's so much to get into later that I'll save with that transition to the Spurs and that culture. Ben, what do you recall from the Wake Forest days?
Kind of what I was saying. I remember the Sixers having top 3 top 10 picks back then. So I would focus on the draft even as like a middle schooler. Because that's why we're here right now. We're kind of crazy basketball fans.
Nerds, yeah.
And I remember him and Keith Van Horn were the two dudes who stayed, and both of them kind of after their sophomore year could have went pro, top 10, but they just stayed for different reasons. And it just was kind of the culture back then. You didn't really leave early. I just remember his junior year, he could have gone number 1, and he was a center, and then how he adjusted his game to be a power forward, I think is what stood out, because he was elite right away.
Yeah.
And he was also really young. I think he was like 17 his freshman year of college.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. Both good points. Lucas, what about you?
So in 1997, I was 5.
Here we go.
Look, I obviously did not have a clue about basketball back then, but I will say this. It just shows how much the respect and the idea around college basketball has changed over the years. Because, back then if you stay in college, you stayed in college didn't affect your draft stock. Now, if you stay until your junior or senior year, unless you're like a Zach Edey type guy,
right,
you're probably going to end up hurting your draft stock than improving it.
Yeah.
And I think the fact is that I honestly think that he needed all 4 years. I think that the maturation of Tim Duncan, college probably helped with that.
Yeah. Well, what stood out to me is the character. I mean, he promised his mom something, and look, he didn't have to tell anyone about that promise, but it was so important to him that he said, I want to get this degree, and he did. You guys know who R.C. Buford is?
Yes, he is the general manager of the Spurs, or now president, but he was GM back then.
So listen to this, guys. So real quick, according to an NBA article, Buford, at the time, CEO of the Spurs, 2-time executive of the year, and he was talking about Tim Duncan being available in the 97 draft. He was interviewed and said, quote, Pop being crazy, Popovich, obviously, he thought Scott Pollard was who we should draft, unquote. Oh. But then Popovich booked a flight to the Virgin Islands and went to go see Duncan, get to know him, which solidified the Spurs' decision. So can you imagine Scott Pollard over Tim Duncan? Like, I don't know if that's tongue in cheek.
Well, Scott did win a title with the Boston Celtics in 2008. I think he was on that team, right? So.
But in college, I looked at his numbers in college. It was nowhere near Duncan's. But I don't know. I don't know if he was just poking at Pop. But
I mean, this is why there's a general manager versus a coach.
Yeah,
I think he was saying that tongue in cheek. I can't believe that Scott Pollard went 19th in that draft.
I read in the article, but anyway. All right, I'm done with my segment. Lucas, you ready for yours?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Second quarter. Statistics.
Into Powell. Here it goes. Got it! Denver has won! Denver has done it in a close game again. Off balance. Leading. Oh, look at that pass. Look at the pass. What a play. What did we just see there? My goodness. Woo, it's a circus. Number 2, but between his legs, right through the wicket. That's an unbelievable pass. Here's the thing.
Go. Jamal Murray to Jokić. Jokić backs up for the win. Yes! Nikola Jokić buries it. Oh my God!
Those are the highlights. Here are the numbers. So Nikola Jokić, we think of him as a 7-footer, but he's actually only 6'11". And here's the crazy part. And this is, Uriah, you can stop me if you don't want me to do this. Over under on his weight. Do you want me to do that or no?
Over under on his weight?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of odd, but
I mean, look, it's. I think it would surprise you guys.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Over
under 270 for his weight.
That has to be under.
Under.
I think now it's under. I think at one point in his career he was probably close to 300.
Wait, are you saying now or
right
his
now?
Heaviest?
Right now, what it is listed on basketball.
It's not. It's under.
I'll go under.
He is listed at 284.
No.
On Basketball Reference, he is listed at 284.
He's still a big guy.
He's a big fella.
Yeah.
But I guess, unlike the other greatest center in the NBA currently, it does not seem to affect his play all that much.
Right.
That being, 284, guys. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I thought I'd do the over-under. Yeah, because I don't think you guys... I wasn't prepared to see that.
Do you think someone's being honest about their weight? That's my...
Well, I mean, it really comes down to his conditioning.
Yeah.
It's really...
Like I said,
exactly.
I'm assuming these numbers were taken at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, so. and it's whatever, like, his durability kind of proves that
it doesn't affect his...
It doesn't matter, yeah. And you see it, like you saw in the Serbia game, his conditioning isn't great, but he's 280. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah. So anyway, he's worn 15 for his whole career, but the Nuggets did go through a rebranding phase during that time. They had the light baby blue jerseys, which I actually liked more, if I'm being honest. Okay. But he wore 15 for his whole entire career. Now, this is hard because, not to steal Ben's thunder, but he does have multiple MVPs. I'm not going to say how many, but he has multiple MVP seasons. So it was hard for me to choose one here. I did go with the 2021-22 season.
Okay.
He averaged 27 points, almost 14 rebounds, 13.8 to be exact, 7.9 assists, 1.5 steals, and a shade under a block per game. He shot 58% from the field, 33% from the three-point line, and from the foul line, 81%.
Okay.
Just that alone, chew on that for a second.
Right.
What do you guys think? I'll start with Ben.
He really kind of showcased his scoring, and that's kind of where he became the guy. It was kind of him and Joel for a while, but there was a point where he kind of ascended. For me, it's his touch around the rim.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the best 3-point shooter, if we're going to be honest. Like he's actually he takes it. It looks all right. He'll make it occasionally, but especially with some of the other bigs like Cat or Embiid, he's actually not that.
His form on his post moves are not the smoothest.
Yeah.
It is not like the Mr. Fundamental.
He has a weird thing, though. If a guy's on him, he'll make it. Like the way his shot is. Yeah.
And he's like fading away. He's got a strange shooting foot.
Wide open, he's missing it. He's missing it. Yeah.
His hook shots are weird because on a hook shot, your shoulders are supposed to be at a 90-degree angle away from the defender so your left shoulder can protect you from shot blocking. He turns his whole entire almost to like a 45-degree angle and has the shot almost where it's like he's almost facing the defender on the hook shot.
Yeah, so to answer your question, it's the shot making. There's only a couple guys in the league. You kind of saw this in the Serbia-USA game. It's Embiid always dominates him, and it's because he has the size and athletic ability to guard him. And didn't Minnesota kind of give him trouble?
Cat gave him trouble.
In the playoffs.
And Gobert, like they threw bodies at him. And
Gobert didn't do anything. No, that was all Cat. I'm not giving Gobert any credit on that one.
Well, the double. My point is there's only a couple guys that I would say if Milwaukee ever played them in a finals,
Brook Lopez probably could. Maybe Al Horford. Maybe Al Horford could throw a little bit at him, but Al's pretty much cooked at this point.
But the thing is, when you watch Jokić and you see it with Joel, there's so few guys who can. He gets that shot off, and it's always going in. Like when Jokić is like shooting a shot within 12 feet, I every time I'm like, there's no way this guy's missing it.
Question: when the Suns went to the finals in 2021, did they play the Nuggets? Because I thought Didn't Aiden play well against him?
I do not remember.
Was that part of their run? I'm asking.
I think that was when he was rolling out the thing, that Brazilian point guard. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Pincazo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murray was hurt, so that was. I don't know who Denver played in that first round, but
they lost to Phoenix in the second round. They actually got swept.
They got swept.
So Aiden did a good job. So Aiden was able to do a good job.
You're right, Lucas.
This was a 2020.
So there aren't. Your point is valid that there aren't that many players that can defend him well enough because he can take them inside or out. Yeah. And Maurice, what do you think, bud?
Well, the assist kind of stood out to me because I thought he had more than 7.9. 7.9, correct?
Yeah. 7.9. His career assist is only 6.9 for his career so far.
But see, the thing is, though, when you look at Jokić and not just looking at highlights, but actually watching games, he's like a triple-double threat every night.
Yeah.
So, and we always know him for his facilitating, more so than anything else.
Yeah.
So 7.9, I thought it would be a little higher. I would have lost the over-under on that one.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Uriah?
Yeah, I thought about the assist too, Maurice. But I think to Ben's point about his touch around the rim, whenever he shoots within that range, like you said, close to the basket, you're very confident it goes in. But even if he misses, the one thing I love about him is that he'll get the rebound offensively and he'll just put it right back up. He doesn't mess around.
His career offensive rebounds is 2.6, and it's never dipped below 2 offensive rebounds per game, even in his rookie season.
Yeah. So I think the stat Lucas said stood out was the 58% shooting percentage, where if you compare him to Joel Embiid, even though has more in his bag offensively, shooting-wise, his shooting percentage is nowhere near as good as Jokić. So, I think the shooting percentage, it's impressive.
His interior shooting percentage, 3-point-wise, they're pretty close, I would say, actually. Yeah. But interior-wise, Jokić has more touch. So his career stats so far, 21, shade under 21 points per game, almost 11 rebounds a game, a shade under 7 assists a game, 1 steal, a shade under a block per game, only 2.9 turnovers.
Wow.
55% of almost 56% from the field, 35% from 3-point line, almost 83% from the foul line. Any thoughts on that real quick?
Under 3 turnovers is wild because they kind of run him at the point guard.
Well, I will say this. He's averaged at least 3 turnovers since the 18-19 season.
Yeah.
No, the 19-20 season. He's averaged 18-19, at least 3.1. Last season he had 3. But yeah, it's still pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime, if you're known for being a passer or just being the point guard or the main facilitator, even if your assist numbers are not the highest, if your turnover ratio is low, that's still a plus.
Oh, yeah. So anybody else have any other thoughts there?
No, just I think since we're comparing Jokić to Duncan, you think about Jokic's shooting. I'll always come back to his shooting percentage. Duncan was always good around the rim. He had that famous bank shot from the elbow.
Do you want to know his 2-point percentage for his career?
Sure, tell us.
60.9 for his career. That MVP season, it was 65.2.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's the big comp. I think that's kind of why we did that. Like those two, when they took a shot, you thought it was going in, and very few players have that.
You guys ready for career highs now?
Yes, sir.
Let's go for it. So, over under 60 points as a career high. Ben, you say down, below?
Yeah, under.
Maurice?
I don't remember shooting 60, so I'm going to go under.
Uriah?
Mariah?
You got the hair like Mariah Carey, bro. No, I'm joking.
I'm going to go with the popular vote, which is under.
Yes, it is under. I tried to trick you. It was actually 50.
Okay.
It's only 50, though, which is kind of surprising. I feel like it should be higher. Maybe during the playoffs it was higher. I'm only doing regular season ones. Is it higher in the playoffs? Yeah, 53, but not much.
Okay.
All right, so over under 30 rebounds as a career high.
Ooh. I'm going to say over.
Wow, 30? Man, I'm going to go, I'll go under.
Maurice?
Sorry to cut him short, but I'm going to say under as well.
Ben, you are incorrect. It is close, though. It is 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a non-athletic dude, 27
he's always in overtime at that team. Every time they're on TNT.
Yeah, that was the 22-23 season that happened in. And then assist. Ooh, this is a spicy one. Over under. 16 assists as a career high.
I'll go first. I'm going to say over. I think he's probably hit 20.
I'm going to go over as well.
Over.
You're all correct.
Yeah.
Though, Uriah, you were incorrect. It was 18.
What? Oh. Okay. Mr. Horse Whisperer over here, nitpicking.
Yes. Anyway, so 7 steals as a...
He had no idea how to come back with that.
There's no comeback for it. You're not wrong. 7 steals as a career high, 5 blocks, and he's only had 10 turnovers in at least 3 games. So that's actually pretty good considering.
Yeah.
So yeah, any thoughts on the career highs?
50 points. I thought it would be, once again, I thought it would be higher. I would have lost the over-under on that one. Nothing Jokić does, and this is a great comparison because both of them, nothing they really do is flashy. You know, it's not like the number one highlight.
I mean, 7 steals for a center is kind of flashy.
Well, steals in itself is not a flashy. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know if steals are flashy, but it's unexpected for his size. I get it.
Yeah, it's unexpected. Yeah. But 50 points, I remember... I don't know. I just remember games where he's at high scoring games.
I mean, he's had it in the 40s quite a few times. Just 50.
And let's give this some perspective too. I think we tend to forget this. They're playing in Denver. The altitude is higher. This is a little harder to do everything.
Unless you're used to it.
Yes, unless you're used to it. So for him to put up these numbers in Denver over the years, that's impressive in itself.
Yep. Ben, what do you think?
The points, because Murray was out for like a year and a half, and Michael Porter Jr. didn't really develop. So the fact that he didn't kind of have a high 50s or even a 60-point game is a little surprising. And even in general, he plays very smart. And if they played a team that had no center, so 50 seems a little low. I know that's a lot of points, but it seems a little low for him.
On Uriah.
I'm going to go with blocks. I thought someone was going to steal that, but for him to get 5 blocks in a game, that's pretty impressive because, as we said earlier, he can't jump off a curb or whatever. However,
he's only done that in at least 2 games because I've only seen it for 2 seasons. Yeah, no.
Yeah, steals I'm not surprised at because he's pretty good with deflections and stuff. But yeah, blocks, it's like impressive.
Uriah, as you know, we have a friend who is now part of this pod. He has not been on yet, Chris. Actually, no, Chris has been on as a guest. And Chris, me and Uriah, when we were doing the Sixer Sense, all 3 of us, me and Uriah would argue that Jokić was not a good defender. Chris would say, look at his steals.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, he does play the lanes well, which isn't that surprising considering how high his basketball IQ is. Mm-hmm. I will say for the career highs, I think the steals are definitely something there. 7 steals for a center is just, not normal, not typical at all. The other thing that I wanted to point out to you guys here with this, go back to the points per game. For his first 5 years, he only averaged 20 points once. He was never a high volume scorer. But I remember this. They were like, the only way that Jokić and the Nuggets are going to take the next step. I remember commentators saying this is like, if he becomes like a go-to scorer. And then the next season, he averaged 19.9 points in 2019, 2020. And then the next season, he averages 26.5 points per game. So I think he's one of those guys that I will score if I have to, but I don't want to score.
Right.
But on that note, let's switch over to Timmy.
Shooting is nipped after that great start. Duncan! Now that is a to Duncan. He gets doubled. Shaq all over him. He gets away, a fadeaway. He makes it with 4 tenths left. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. He's pressured. He makes it from way outside.
You couldn't have defended that any better.
No.
You know, it's almost like Tim Duncan is giving the Lakers what Kobe has given the Spurs.
O'Neal with the help. Takes it to the basket. Duncan, a three-pointer. Puts it up. It's good! Tim Duncan from three-point line ties the game!
So those were the highlights. Here are the stats. So let me ask you this. How tall do you guys think Tim Duncan is?
6'10".
Yeah, he's 6'10".
7 feet.
You're all wrong. It is actually 6'11", the same height as Nikola Jokić.
Okay.
Now, he does not weigh quite as much. He in his last season in the NBA, he weighed in at 250. He wore 21 his whole entire tenure with the San Antonio Spurs. Now, like with Jokić, it was hard to find the best season. But I went with a 01-02 season. Okay? He averaged his most points per game, which was 25.5 points.
Okay.
12, almost 13 rebounds a game. Almost 4 assists a game. Less than a steal per game. And 2.5 blocks with 3.2 turnovers per game. He also shot 50% from the field, almost 51% from the field. He shot 10% from the three-point line. We know Tim was not a three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Not like that highlight would like you to believe he wasn't.
Yeah.
He probably could have been if he actually practiced it, though. I almost guarantee you that, because I remember him in the skill contest one year with the WNBA player and former George Orvin, I think. Anyway, and then he shot 79.9% from the free throw line. If we're comparing 2-point percentage stats, this is the crazy part. Tim Duncan didn't even sniff close to Jokic's 2-point percentage, at least as a whole. Now, remember, Tim took a lot more jump shots.
Yeah.
But he shot only 51% on 2-pointers. So, keep that in mind. But,
yeah, that's lower than I thought. I actually thought it was higher, but
no, he had, he was famous for the mid-range bank shot. So,
right.
That's not quite as accurate as you would want it to be. That being said, what are your guys' thoughts on his best season, statistically wise? I'll go with Uriah first.
So I think the scoring stands out because you never think of Duncan as the primary or lead scorer because he's always had like a Ginobili or a David Robinson on his team. But yeah, for him to score over 25 points a game, it's pretty darn good.
I would tend to agree. Ben, what do you think?
I think that stands out more so is it should have kind of been more the norm for Tim Duncan. I mean, they won 5 chips, so it didn't matter. He has the ability to kind of get you 30 a night. And so I was always surprised how low his scoring ended up being at the end of the season.
Well, I think that had to do more with scheme and the personnel around him, which I'm sure we'll get to because he had some really good teammates. And Greg Popovich was never like I'm going to ride one guy type deal. I'm going to make sure that the wealth is evenly distributed in terms of scoring. That being said, I think that was Tony Parker's like rookie year, and there was no Manu yet. So, and David Robinson was getting old, so I think that's why Tim did that much. Not to steal Maurice's thunder, sorry.
Yeah, well, going to what your point was, the assists for me, the 4.5 assists.
No, 3.7. It was
3.7. Okay, 4.
Yes.
Okay, round up to 4. Okay, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But I remember in that offense, Popovich offense, there was like always passing the ball, always moving the ball around.
And they almost played through Tim Duncan, especially during those earlier years.
Yeah. It was almost like, looking back at it, it was almost like FIBA like basketball.
And who came from FIBA basketball, we wonder?
They had a lot of international players.
Yeah. No. I'm saying Jokić.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a connection.
Yeah, there's a connection, yeah. I just remember that, they always passed the ball around, and boy, I would thought maybe 5 assists for Duncan, because he was the cog of that offense. And then they bring in, I'm not going to get to the teammates, but they bring in a bunch of guys who really do a good job of facilitating and making Duncan the best version of himself, the best player on the court. I thought it would be a little higher, but 3.7 is not bad for a center power forward.
I just want to say real quick, Maurice, to your point, I remember when Miami, they got blown out of the building in that final series against San Antonio because they could not do anything to stop the passing of the Spurs. It was like a clinic. I was like, and this is when Kawhi was still young, but that offense with Popovich, that was such a great system to be in, and Tim Duncan was right in the middle.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to point out one thing. 3.7 assists for a big man back in the 2000s, where big men were mainly thought of as scorers or rebounders or defenders. You didn't have too many players where the offense flowed through them as much as Duncan. So if Duncan played today, I would suspect he'd probably average about 5 or 6 assists similar to Joel. That being said, he averaged at least 3 assists for 10 seasons. His career average on assist is 3 per game.
Okay.
So he never averaged below 2 assists per game. So there was only one season that he went below 2.5. And I believe that was a season where he only played 58 games. So that was the 11-12 season. So keep that in mind. That being said, look, the guy was fantastic. His career stats right now are 19 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.7 steals, 2.2 blocks, 50.5% shooting from the field, 18% shooting from the 3-point line, and 69.5% shooting from the free throw line. So very similar career stats to Jokić right now. The only differentiator I would say is the assist, but that could be more of a product of the time versus back then.
Two different generations of basketball too.
The defense, Lucas, I would say too.
Oh yeah, the defense too. The shot blocking for sure. Any thoughts on his career stats before we go to career highs? Anybody want to chime in on that real quick?
The difference is he came in the league 4 years of college, so he was already a 20 and 10 guy.
Yeah, rookie season was 21 points, 12 rebounds per game.
Yeah, and
such consistency. Wow.
Yeah,
and like I just said, these are 2 different generations of basketball. And if you talk about career highs, but you focus on his season, the 20, you said 01, 02, right?
Yep, 01, 02.
Just imagine the style of play in 01, 02 compared to whatever season you're going to highlight for Jokić.
Yeah. If Tim played today, you would imagine he'd have the similar amount of rebounds, maybe even more, scoring close to 30 points per game. And
now, let me ask you this, Lucas.
Yeah.
I can ask everybody this. Would in today's game, would Duncan be a power forward or center?
Oh, he'd be a center. He'd be a center.
Yeah, I'd say center.
But you would make an argument that if he played in today's era, he would be right up there with Joel and Jokić as the best center in the NBA. I don't even think that's a question.
And he would work on his 3-shot.
Yeah, I think the 3-shot would be better. Because there were a few times, he only attempted for his career. I don't usually do this, but we can do this. He only attempted 168 threes for his career. He never attempted more than 27 in a single season. In that season, he shot 25%, 26%. I think the form was solid. I think he could have got it if he actually practiced it, but it just wasn't expected. Let's go to career highs, though. Remember, Jokic's career high was 50 points per game. Is Tim Duncan's over or under that career high? I'll start with Ben. Actually, no, I'll start with Uriah.
Over under 50, which was Jokic's high.
Yes.
I'm gonna go under. I never saw him breaking that barrier.
Ben, you said over.
I said over.
And Maurice?
I'm going to go over.
Uriah. You were wrong.
Okay.
Yes, you were wrong. It was 53, though. Very close, though. Very close. 53.
Okay. And you said Jokic's career high was 53, right?
No, 50. 53 in the playoffs.
Playoffs, okay.
Yeah. But 50 in that same season, the 01-02 season. Now, well, isn't that interesting? who do you think had more career rebounds? Jokić, who had 27, or do you think Tim Duncan has more?
Career high rebounds in the game, 27. Oh God, I think Duncan's gotten at least 30 rebounds. I'll go Duncan more.
I'm going to say you're going to try to trick us. I'm going to say it's the same exact number.
A tie? Okay.
And then Ben?
It's going to be over.
Maurice is correct.
Oh, I know
look at you.
Yeah.
13 rings. I know Lucas.
Yeah.
I know he's trying
Yeah,
to
no,
put
they're
wool over our heads.
27. Yeah, it's 27. Crazy, right?
Okay. Tie.
Now, over under 9 assists as a career high for Tim Duncan.
I'll go over.
I'll go over. I think he's had a triple-double before.
I'm going to go under.
Ben? It's 11. It's 11. He's hit triple digits and assists in at least 4 seasons. So
Not bad.
Yeah. No, the guy's a playmaker. I mean, like, these are Jokic type numbers, honestly, with his career highs. So I think it, like I said, I think he would have close to 6 or 7 assists a game if he played in today's game. All right, steals, very close to Jokic, 8. He's actually over Jokic's career high, and then blocks is 9. I'm surprised wasn't he supposed to have a 10 block game and a quadruple double at one point?
Not many guys have.
No, but wasn't that
hard.
stolen from him? Because they originally called it, but then they took away a block.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe,
That
yeah.
would be controversial.
It was either
that.
him or Hakeem, and I can't remember which one.
Hakeem's gotten it a couple times.
So I think it was Duncan. I think Duncan was supposed to have had a quadruple double.
Okay.
I will look that up later. You're right. But then 10 turnovers is a career high.
Okay.
That being said, I think that's really interesting. What about you guys? What do you guys think about these career highs?
Steals. It's got to be 8 steals for him. I mean, he was slow. I mean, I know he was all defense, but 8 steals.
He's going to be the guy that's going to come. You're posting him up, and he's going to poke it out as soon as you try to dribble. That's the way he gets his steals.
That's really impressive. 8 steals. There's some all NBA guard. There's some all-time defensive guards
who don't have 8 steals.
Who don't even have it. Like Drew Holiday's career high might be 8 steals.
Right.
His 8 steals came in the 99-2000 season.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah, the rest of the time he never sniffed more than 5 steals in a single game.
I always felt like Duncan, because it was a big man's game during the early part of his career, he's quick enough to kind of jump and maybe deny.
Entry pass.
Yeah, like him tipping it away, getting a steal. I could see him getting that number of steals.
Okay. What about who hasn't gone yet?
Maurice?
Then you said 8 or 9 blocks. 9 blocks?
9 blocks, yeah.
The 9 blocks was impressive because you never really, when we look back at Tim Duncan's career, we never really thought he was like this defensive force. Same thing.
I mean, he averaged 2.5 blocks on his 2.2 blocks for his career.
I think he was known for defense.
Well, I mean,
talking about shot blocking? Shot blocking?
Just shot blocking. But in general, like, we never thought Tim Duncan was a defensive player of the year type player.
Let's leave that to Ben.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But with that said, I'll make the correlation between Duncan and Jokić. Neither one of them were, I would say, soft on defense. Neither one of them got really bullied or, whether it's Jokić against Embiid or Duncan against Shaq. I think the blocks is really impressive to me because they were still stalwarts in the paint. Even with David Robinson or when David Robinson left, Duncan was still really good defensively.
Yeah,
I think the 9 blocks proves that.
Yeah, look for sure. And for me, it's the points per game, the career high scoring, because it's only 3 off from Jokić. You never think of Tim Duncan as like, I'm going to dominate you with my scoring, but that's exactly what he decided to do. And I do want to note one other thing. After the 2007 season, he had just turned 30. I remember at that point, actually it was a little bit before then, after the 03-04 season, they started bringing down his minutes significantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we could have had more 20-point seasons from Tim Duncan if if Greg Popovich wasn't minutes checking him during the regular season.
Sure.
And then, like I said, he was getting young Manu and young Tony Parker at that point. Like I said, the 01-02 season, and Maurice would have to tell us, because I don't think he had much help. And the same thing with Jokić during that best season. They scored their career highs in scoring because they didn't have much help.
Yeah.
But otherwise, these guys were relatively quiet. I mean, Duncan only scored in the 20s for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons of his career.
Well, I think comparatively, I'm looking at their rookie year numbers. So Jokic's first year, I think we all said that earlier, he didn't put up big numbers.
He was the backup, I think.
Right. But Duncan, his first year, he averaged 21 points.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the difference. He went
rebounds.
to a 4-year college, and he was already 21 at the time.
Right. So even though they're both impactful to winning, Duncan clearly got off to a hotter start.
And he was on a really good team.
Yeah. David
Nuggets
Robinson.
Team, when he was that Nuggets team that he came on still had Kenneth Faried, Ty Lawson. I don't even think they had Paul Millsap yet. They were still recovering from the Carmelo Anthony trade.
Right.
So they were not. Though Ty Lawson was fun, it was just not the same there.
Yeah.
Not the same. So I'm going to go ahead and give Ben the entry pass on this one. You ready for a post up, Ben?
Let's go.
Third quarter, accolades.
Last week, history was made as Nikola Jokić was named the Kia NBA Most Valuable Player for the third time. At center court, Kia America's Southwest Regional Director Scott Martin joins NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, Head Coach Michael Malone, General Manager Calvin Booth, KSE Vice Chairman Josh Kroenke, and KSE Owner and Chairman Stan Kroenke to present the Michael Jordan Trophy to the 2023-24 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player, Nikola Jokić.
Nikola, so you are the NBA's Kia MVP. Congratulations.
All right, that was Nikola Jokić receiving one of his multiple MVPs. How many MVPs has Nikola Jokić won? You guys can all answer.
I jumped ahead. Yes,
okay.
Trace.
All right, it's 3.
Oh, yeah, 3. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's 3 of the last 4 years. I think the last 6 MVPs have all been international players. It's pretty much the finalists for MVPs have been Giannis, Jokić, and Embiid, with Shea getting in there last year. Jokić has just been a perennial either MVP or MVP finalist. He doesn't have a huge list, but it's very impressive. So because he's still kind of in the middle of his prime. How many All-NBA teams does Jokić have? And of that, how many first teams does he have?
First teams, I want to say 4 altogether. First, second, third, I want to say 6.
Okay. Uriah?
I think he has 7 All-NBAs as far as first team. I know Embiid has struggled to make that first team during his career. That would be the only real competition for Jokić. But I think Jokić, because he has 3 MVPs and arguably could have had a 4th, I'd say he's first team All-NBA 5 times.
Okay.
Well, I don't think he made All-NBA the first 3 or 4 seasons of his career. He's been in the league for 8 since 2015 is when he first started playing. So 9 years. I'm going to say he made All-NBA 6 times and made first team 4 times.
Okay. Lucas and Maurice, you guys are correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what you said. It's not 4 years in a row. It's been kind of
no.
Because Joel's gotten it.
I think nowadays we have to take into account games played, because you don't play enough games, you're not qualified.
And what's surprising about Jokić, I didn't realize this. I mean, the Adam Silver rule has only been in effect with the last year or two. So I think he would have had a few seasons where he might have not made that 65 game threshold. But he's pretty durable. So he's had 6 years in a row where he's either been first or second team All-NBA as a center. And this pretty wild. I mean, it's either him or Joel. Who got it this year because of Joel? Who was the second center?
He the second center?
Yeah.
I think it was Sabonis. No, or Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis.
Okay, it was Davis or
either
Sabonis?
One of those guys.
Yeah,
take your pick.
So this guy is incredibly durable. Of that same year, the 6-year stretch of Jokic from 2019 to 2024, 6-time NBA All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
He famously got picked last by, was it LeBron? What was it? LeBron?
That was some petty stuff there.
That's pretty petty. It's pretty petty.
I'm all for it, though.
There's been a lot of, I think, we'll get into this, and then has Jokic won a NBA Finals MVP?
Yes.
Did he win it or Jamal Murray?
No, it was him.
He did win it in 2023. Yeah. He's also an NBA champion in that same year, 2023. So he did not win the MVP that year, but he did. The year he didn't win the MVP, he was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna win the chip and a Finals MVP." So this guy is just. We're
on a roll
up there. They say he's already top 15 all time, which you would say about both these players.
Well, that's the Bill Simmons people. I don't know if I can say that yet.
That's a good point. He could fall off a cliff and then he won't make it. That's a good point. But I would say he has ascended into certainly top 20 all time.
I will ask you guys this, because I did notice before I closed my computer that he was not on one list in particular.
Yes. So that was what I was going to ask. It was my trick question, Lucas. Mm-hmm. So here's the question. How many All-NBA defensive teams has Jokic been a part of?
No, that wasn't the list that I was going to talk about. Okay.
All defensive?
Yeah. Has he been a part of any?
I cannot see. Like, maybe he lucked out and I think he got one second team, but I doubt it. Definitely not as many as Tim Duncan.
The answer is no. No, he did not have any.
He didn't get any?
He did not. And then were you going to say he's never led the league in anything, right? Is that what you're going to say?
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to talk about the 75 team.
Top 75?
Yeah.
Did he make top 75?
No, he did not.
Oh.
No.
He feels like he should have been on there, though, right?
No.
Yeah,
they didn't play enough years.
Because Giannis made it, right?
But Giannis made it. So did Anthony Davis.
Though 3 MVPs and a Finals win. How do you?
Well, I don't know if they had won the Finals by the time that list was.
Yeah. Okay. So it was the year.
He had 2 MVPs though.
It was the All-Star game the year he made the Finals, so he had yet to make that. But he did have 2 MVPs, so he was not. And famously, Anthony Davis, who has no MVPs, made it over him and Embiid. So
and Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
And Kyrie.
Oh wow.
And Tracy McGrady.
There's a lot.
Well, that's a controversial.
There's a lot of people
that's a controversial pick, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So Jokic did have a good rookie year. In the 2016 class, he was All-NBA rookie first team. So we were saying he didn't really start, but by the end, it became clear that this guy was a steal in the draft.
Yeah, they tried playing him and Jokic together, but they couldn't, so they traded Jokic to Portland.
You did stats, Lucas. I asked this already. I don't believe Jokic has always been kind of second or third.
I didn't see any bolded numbers, so I don't think he ever led the league in anything.
Yeah,
he was probably
second or third a bunch.
In assists. Let me double check that real quick.
Maybe triple doubles?
He's led the league. Yes, he's definitely led the league in triple doubles. Yeah.
Double doubles, triple doubles. Yeah.
He's already, I think, top 5 all time in triple doubles.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he
only led the league once in games played back in 2000 in the lockout year, in the COVID year.
Yeah,
2021 season.
That kind of surprised me. He does have a lot of European accolades. He was a Serbian Player of the Year 3 times in 2018, 2021, and 2022. So what makes that interesting is we think he just goes over to Europe and what's his horses?
Horses?
I was going to say, no, but what's it called? Horse racing. But he clearly, he still plays basketball over there is my point.
I have triple double numbers here for you guys if you want. He is second active all time, current of active players in triple doubles with 130, and 4th all time in NBA history.
There you go.
Already.
Wow.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to play for at least another 6 years.
Who's ahead of him among active players?
So you're right. Delete that last part because it's confusing. He's 3-time Serbian Player of the Year, but that's more off of his NBA.
Okay.
That mean he's just not because he plays in Serbia. He does take the summers off.
Right.
So,
He did win an MVP in 2015 in the ABA League, which I think you talked about, Uriah. Were you going to say something, Lucas?
he's 13th all time in playoff career triple doubles with 4. So there hasn't been that many players that had triple doubles in the playoffs. So
has Duncan lost the finals?
Yes.
To the Heat, right?
To the Heat and the Pistons, right?
No, they played the Lakers.
The Pistons beat the Lakers, and the Spurs beat the Pistons, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's only lost once in the finals. All right, so
that Ray Allen shot.
Yeah. So, okay, that's pretty much it for Jokic's. So this is something that came up because we just had an Olympic year. He obviously won the bronze in 2024. Young Jokić in 2016, they actually won the silver. So they played the gold medal game. And
the Serbian team's always been good in the 2000s. So
it's been a very active 6-7 years. And the media has been, NBA Twitter has been, it's been the same 3 or 4 guys the last 5 or 6 years. So every fan base from the Bucks to the Sixers has been inundated by Jokić fans. So we know a lot about him, even just because of that. But what stands out to you? I'm going to start with Uriah.
I would say the whole idea of an entire nation backing this guy. Like when he goes home, he has, he's partying and they shout his name. They chant his praises. And so I think his hardware, I don't think he could care less about collecting awards. He's told the media as much. He's told the fans as much. He loves basketball, but it does not define him. And I think, one of the reasons why I lamented or I acquiesced to this episode, because I was kind of against it in the beginning, and Lucas was he was a staunch supporter.
Sabonis originally for.
But I think this was the right pick, and I'm giving praise to Lucas because Tim Duncan is very similar. Accolades don't matter to him. What matters to him is playing the right way. But basketball is not everything to Jokić, and I'm sure the accolades kind of fit in that perspective.
Yeah, that's true. And they're both small. We forgot to mention this. They're both small, in a way, small market teams. So
there is no way about it. They are small.
They are, yeah. Someone mentions he was actually drafted by the Nuggets at 41.
Okay, so it wasn't a trade?
He was actually drafted.
I got it mixed up with Gobert. Gobert was not drafted by Utah. He was drafted by Denver. I got it mixed up.
He was a part of the Trey Lyles trade, right?
I don't remember.
I think so.
And then, you're right. Just to piggyback on what you said, it's true. Seeing Jokić in that bus when they won the bronze, he was just so joyful. He's just like, America's just kind of like, he kind of can't wait to get out of here. So, which makes sense. He's not from here. So, all right, Lucas, what stands out to you?
You would think that the guy, as skilled as he was, would win Rookie of the Year, but he did not get that. He was 4th place behind Malcolm Brogdon, Joel Embiid. I don't know who number 3 was, though.
No,
Joel, 15, 16?
Joel wasn't in that.
He didn't play until 15-16.
Joel played 16-17.
Oh, you're right. Then who was 15-16?
Who won Rookie of the Year before Brogdon did? Do you guys know?
Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, that's it.
And Jahlil Okafor was 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because Jokić was behind Embiid and Towns for a minute, and then he just kind of...
just shot past them.
Yeah. Well,
now Towns is
debatable.
4th or 6th best center in the NBA. Depending on who you ask. But
All right. Did everybody go?
No, Maurice.
Okay.
What stands out to you from his accolades?
Well, based off his accolades, I'm going to say this. When it's all said and done, I have Jokić maybe in the top 5 greatest centers of all time.
Oh.
What do you guys think?
Oh, centers.
Yes, center.
Well, look, can we save that for one of our Mount Rushmore episodes? I don't want to.
I mean, you can give a little teaser.
I think for sure in the top 10, I'd have to do some more research before I get into
when it's all said.
The top 3, that's tough because you've top 4 seems pretty settled.
I would say no, just because I value offense and defense, and there are plenty of centers in history that have as good of numbers defensively as offensively as Jokić. So
I agree.
I think Jokić is a phenomenal player, but top 5, no.
I will say this. You could make an argument to me that Jokić is a top 10 passer of all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one, and we're about to compare him to a player that is elite on both ends, so that's a good point. His defense is a liability, and you see it when he has to play other good bigs. He kind of gets outplayed. So, I mean, against his rival, he gets outplayed every time, and I think that has a lot to do with his defense.
No, don't start that, Ben, because people are going to say that his rival ducks him every time he's supposed to go play in Denver. Let's not start
where's
that.
Chris?
He's the reason why they he's the reason why he lost in the Olympics. So anyway, so we're going to move on to Tim Duncan. That's about it for Jokić. I mean, we're kind of in the middle of his prime, so we'll see where it goes.
He's gonna be mad at me, but the standard you set, you showed up after I got drafted, you came to my island, you sat with my friends, my family, you talked with my dad. I thought that was normal. It's not. You're an exceptional person. Thank you for teaching me about basketball, but even beyond that, teach me that's not all about basketball. It's about what's happening in the world, about your family, just for everything. Thank you for being the amazing human being that you are. This story and journey doesn't make sense. I worked my butt off, but I was blessed and guided by so many people and improbable scenarios to get where I am today. So to all the people that I mentioned, to all the ones I didn't, my Spurs family, my Wake Forest family, my Virgin Islands family, thank you. I appreciate and love you all. Good night.
All right, that's Tim Duncan. I believe you're right. That's at his Hall of Fame inductee. Okay. So Tim Duncan has been retired for about, let's say, 9 years, 10 years. All right, I'm going to start us off with how many times has Tim Duncan won an NBA championship? I'm going to go with you, Maurice.
5.
Okay. Lucas.
I'm going to go with Maurice.
All right. Uriah.
Yeah. 2 with David Robinson and 3 with Tony Parker and those guys. I'll go with 5.
You are correct. It's 5. He won his first NBA championship in his second year, and he won a championship 15 years later in 2014.
That's nuts.
And then, he took about an 8-year gap from 2007. He made the finals. I believe we established it was 6 times. So there was one time he lost to the Miami Heat. You have to remember in the 90s and 2000s, it was supposed to be the Shaq Kobe era. You had teams like the Kings, you had the Warriors then were kind of ascending towards the end, but it was the Western Conference was really hard to get out of, and the Spurs always somehow managed to make the finals.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. This is during Kobe's prime.
Yeah. Don't forget about Utah and Minnesota with KG. Yeah.
Minnesota with KG, Dallas with Dirk. Phoenix had some good teams with
the West was tough back
Steve
then.
Nash. Yeah. So you had all these players. So the fact that this team, I felt like because of his second option wasn't flashy, the culture in San Antonio was always there.
Yeah.
This is something I didn't know, and this kind of puts him in elite category. How many times was he a Finals MVP? We know Kawhi won 1, right?
Tony Parker won 07.
Okay, so how many times did Tim Duncan? You had David Robinson 2, but.
You just gave us the answer right there.
Yeah. No, David Robinson was on his team for 2 of them.
Oh, okay. Well, we know we know Tim. I'm going to say he has 2. I'm going to say he has 2 because I'm pretty sure Robinson got the first one. I don't think Robinson got the second one when in his last year of before retirement, and then Tim was basically by himself for the 05 one. I mean, like you had young Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, but they weren't there yet. So I'm gonna say 2.
That sounds about right. I like that, Lucas.
Yeah,
I'll go with 2.
I'm gonna go 3. I don't think Dave Robinson won Finals MVP on
his second year.
You
don't think he won it?
No, I think Duncan won that.
All right,
Maurice, congratulations, you're the winner.
What? David Robinson never got Finals MVP. Okay,
I thought Robinson got one. Okay,
Robinson was a little post that surgery. Like Robinson was good, but he never fully recovered. He did. So Tim Duncan won Finals MVP. I think he was 22 in 99. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then he won again in 03 and 05. So he's a 3-time NBA Finals MVP. That puts him in a pretty small category. I think there's probably only about 10 players, if that are in that.
He's special.
Like Larry Bird, Kareem, Magic.
Yeah.
Jordan Russell.
But I don't even know if those guys got 3.
Bill Russell and Will never got it because they didn't have the Finals MVP until the last year.
And I don't think Larry Bird has 3 Finals MVPs. You know what I mean?
Who would have gotten it over Larry?
Ben, remember the Larry Bird episode? We were all shocked that first year. It was, who was it, Ben?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was what's his face?
Cedric Maxwell.
Yeah. Cedric Maxwell? Yeah.
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 Obviously, Michael Jordan has 6.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant has 2. Shaq has 3 because Shaq got 3 with the first Lakers. So Tim Duncan also...
LeBron probably has some, right?
Yeah, LeBron I think has all 4 of his chips, right?
Probably.
KG has 2.
No, KG only won 1.
He only won 1 championship.
I thought he got 2 championships with the Warriors.
Kevin Garnett?
No, KD. Sorry, KD.
Larry Bird has 2. You're right. We know that because of and Magic Johnson has more than 3. So let's go to 2-time NBA Most Valuable Player. This season, Lucas highlighted when David Robinson was retiring and they drafted Tony Parker and Ginobili. His numbers were really good. So he won back-to-back MVPs. So both these guys have that in common. They were back-to-back MVPs. 2002 and 2003. What's impressive about that is you had guys like Kobe, Iverson, T-Mac, Shaq, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki. Like you had all-time, probably like top 30, top 40 players all time in their prime, Steve Nash. And so for him to get back-to-back, really impressive. He's a 15-time NBA All-Star, 98. Ooh. So Tim Duncan is one of the only rookies
to make an All-Star game.
He also, you want to hear something crazy?
Mm-hmm.
His rookie season, All-NBA first team.
That is outstanding.
All-NBA first team.
I think Luka did that, right?
Think about it, at that point, the power forward position was kind of like...
No, only had 98?
You had Chris Webber, you had Tim Duncan. Dirk wasn't in his prime yet.
Kevin Garnett was in his prime.
Chris Webber
Webber was...
He was really good.
Malone was still there.
Rasheed Wallace.
Hello.
Malone.
Okay, so it wasn't that then. Okay.
So him to be a rookie, that's astounding.
Yeah, first team NBA.
I mean, he averaged 21 and a half, 12 and a half, and
12
2 and
awards.
Yeah. So 12 straight years from 2000 2011 All-Star, and then 2013 and 2015. So 15-time All-Star. He did win the MVP in 2000. I'll ask the 2 questions. How many All-NBA teams total was he part of, and then first teams? So I know gave you one of them.
All NBA team, he made 15 of them. How many of them were first team? I don't know. I'm going to say 11 first team.
I'll go with 10.
10 first team or all time? All
first team.
Hey, so I'll go 15. Lucas said 11. Uriah said 10. I'll go 12.
Ooh. All right. Well,
we're all wrong, aren't we?
No. Some of you guys are right. It's 10. Uriah was right.
Uriah was right. Okay.
Finally.
It is 15.
How long did it take me to come to that conclusion?
The whole episode.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Okay. You know what? You might not have even guessed 10 if I didn't guess 11.
While you guys were discussing, I was trying to figure out when he was listed as a center, because I know there were a few. It's kind of like the Anthony Davis thing.
He started getting listed as a center in 2009, 2010.
Yeah. So some of these were he did get All NBA
because he had
as a center, which makes sense. He can play both. So
one of his teammates was Antonio McDyess, and he was power forward, and Duncan was
he's after Alberto, Fabricio Alberto, who was on the team in 07 when they won the title. I think he was only on the team for 1 or 2 more seasons, and then they switched over to McDyess, Kirk Thomas, Juwan Blair. Shout out to Juwan. We're thinking about having you in an episode soon. Yes.
Some of these All-NBAs are power forward, some are center.
I forgot about the
similar
center.
to Anthony Davis. So he is a 15-time All-NBA player. Lucas kind of alluded to this, so I'll just say it. This is pretty wild. I think this might be a first. 15-time All-NBA player, 15-time All-NBA defensive player.
And 15-time All-Star.
Yeah. So I think that's it. I don't think there's anyone that has that. Maybe, I don't even think MJ has that.
No.
15 years of dominance.
Yeah. And so
two-way dominance.
8 first team and 7 second team. 1998 NBA Rookie of the Year, All-NBA Rookie first team. Like I said, in his rookie year, he was already first team All-NBA. His jersey is retired by the Spurs, number 21. USA Male Basketball Player of the Year, Sports Illustrated Player of the Year in 03. The 75th anniversary team, National College Player of the Year, like Uriah said. And Iverson and him got ditched by a lot of the good players, so he only has a bronze medal. That's kind of the one stain on his career.
Yeah.
And they decided not to come back for the Redeem team. But anyway, so he was inducted in the Basketball Hall of Fame. What stands out? What doesn't stand out? I'm going to start with Maurice.
I made that proclamation about Jokic, maybe being top 5. I think it's without a shadow of a doubt. As of right now, Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward ever. Do we agree on that?
As of now, yes.
Yes.
I think Giannis can threaten it, but he needs to win more.
He needs to win a couple more.
Yeah, at least 2 more. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. This time, we could easily say Tim Duncan is the best at his position. Jokic has a little ways to go, but his career is still going as we record, so I'll give him that. But for Tim Duncan's accolades, I mean, the numbers stand by themselves. This is really nothing else I would like to say. 15 years of dominance, like I said earlier, in a league of amazing Hall of Fame power forwards, Tim Duncan stood above them.
Yeah, and he played during the peak. Like, he was in the peak of power forward.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And you couldn't say the peak of competitive play. Like, the Western Conference was a gauntlet in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was tough to get out of the West in 2000. So, man, he won 3 championships during the 2000s. His skill set, his skills stood above the rest, and his winning stood above the rest.
You know, the one award that he never got, but he probably should have at one point? Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
Never got that. I thought he did. It just makes sense, right? Tim Duncan.
Yeah, and
never got Defensive Player of the Year.
Ben Wallace, and Metta World Peace. Those guys
and the Spurs,
were
right? Weren't the Spurs like top? Weren't they always the one or
of the
two
best defensive teams?
Yeah,
I think, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I think having Bruce Bowen on his team actually hurt his chances of getting Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
he was a multi-time all defensive team player himself, who we talked about in the past.
That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
It was his second year, 99.
Yeah,
so,
what was how close was he to getting? Because all NBA Basketball Reference should have where he finished in the voting for Defensive Player of the Year.
He probably was runner-up, I imagine, a few of these years. If he was 15, he's an 8-time All-NBA defensive first team, so that means he would be
closest he ever got was 3rd in 2000-2001.
There you go.
That is
top
crazy.
3.
Oh, and he did it again in 06-07, so the year that he won his championship. So he was listed as a power forward until the 06-07 season, and then Basketball Reference has him as a center for the rest of the time. But I know that's not right, because the 06-07 season, he had Alberto as his starting center. Fabricio Alberto. Remember that guy? I just remember he was a big guy. That was it. But,
I don't remember that guy.
He was like one of those Argentinian centers.
For the people that are listening at this point, if you're still not sold on this comparison, because of the disparity of defensive prowess, 15-time All-NBA defense, and Jokić has 0. You have to consider, and this is what changed my mind about going forward with this, they offset each other. Jokić is so good at passing that skill set, I would say, offsets the defensive dominance of Tim Duncan. And the reality is there's similarities of their personality, making winning look effortless, their demeanor, authentic personalities. They are who they are, right? As far as accolades, I think Tim Duncan, that point about not getting Defensive Player of the Year that Lucas brought up, I think that stands out to me. He's the ideal rim protector. He's a great team defender. And versus any center in the league, I think everyone would agree that you would trust him in a playoff series against Shaq, against Patrick Ewing. It doesn't matter. Tim Duncan was reliable, and all the awards that he accrued over the years was well-deserved.
I agree with the playmaking of Jokić. Just it's so elite that it does offset the defense. So that's a good take. And one thing I want to say, I keep saying this, but we mentioned a couple players like Embiid and Giannis. The durability of these guys, to get these awards, it means it's an 82-game season and then some of these playoff awards, right?
Yeah.
So the durability of these guys that consistently do it, it means they're not getting hurt.
Yeah.
And they're playing big minutes. And yeah, that's a big part of the game. You know, availability. What do they say? What is it?
The best ability.
The best ability.
Yeah. So I think these two guys are emblematic of that. All right, I'm going to send it over to Maurice to talk about his teammates.
Let's do it.
I think when we talk about the big man position and dominance, you think about speed, strength, stuff like that. Do you think Nikola's kind of redefined what dominance looks like at that big man position, where he's maybe not the strongest, maybe not the fastest, but he's getting it done at a dominant way?
He's strong. He's 7 foot. He's got amazing touch, IQ, passing. You know, he does a great job of just picking the spots when to go right away, when to wait for the double, when to put the ball on the floor, when to spin. So yeah, he's a tough cover down there. He's up there with the greats.
Players that can just do everything, you know, regardless of size. You know, he's kind of like breaking that mold, kind of like how Magic Johnson did with the point guard position. You know, he's breaking the mold of the center position of only just being dominant down on the block. Now he's being dominant from 40 feet everywhere on the floor.
Can we guess who the teammates are?
Oh, sure. I thought it was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
I couldn't tell. I listened to it before. Is one of them Aaron Gordon?
Yes. And
okay.
The other?
I don't know who the other one is.
It was
the other one DeAndre Jordan?
No, it was Jamal Murray.
Oh, okay.
The first one was Jamal Murray?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. So let's talk about Jokić. Drafted in the 2014 NBA draft, 11th overall by the Denver Nuggets. After playing one more season in the Adriatic League, he came to the Denver Nuggets in the 2015 season. So let's talk about some of his teammates. And you know what? Let's do a little different this time because we all know he played for one team, and that's the Denver Nuggets throughout his career. I'm going to give you guys an over-under on the teammate who had the most wins with Jokić. Over-under, the number is 315. We know the Denver Nuggets.
Can't be Jamal Murray. He missed too many games. Caldwell Pope didn't play enough. Aaron Gordon only got there like 2 years ago. Oh, gosh.
You want me to come back to you, Lucas?
Yes, please.
It's Jamal Murray. It's Jamal Murray because 315 is actually not that many.
Which over-under?
It's going to be over, and I think it's going to be Jamal Murray.
You're right.
I agree. That sounds right. Even though he did miss a lot of games, Jamal Murray's been in the league for a while, so I'll go with Murray.
Back to you, Lucas.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that, but I don't feel great about it.
Well, you were right for jumping on the bandwagon because Ben was and Uriah was right.
Okay,
it's Jamal Murray, 320 wins. It's by far. It's not even close. The next closest is Will Barton at 250.
Wow.
Oh, I thought Will Barton. I was thinking of Will Barton.
Everybody got it right.
No, wait. No, I was my board wasn't working, so sorry. There we go. Now it works.
Yeah, all right, so let's talk about some of his teammates. Let's start with the rookie year, like I mentioned, 2015. DJ Augustine, Will Barton, Kenneth Fareed, Randy Foy, Danilo Gallinari.
Gallinari,
I butchered that, yeah. Gary Harris, and Yusuf Nurkic, and Jameer Nelson.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. I
he was still in the league.
Forgot he played.
Uriah was surprised. If you guys, you can't see his face while you're listening, but when he said DJ Augustine, Uriah perked up.
I was like, no, I didn't perk up. I was just surprised that I haven't heard that name in a long time.
That's a lot of
I was always a fan of DJ Augustine.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought he was a nice role player.
Yeah, he was a nice role player. All right, so let's move on to the 2022-2023. Their record was 53-29, and their coach was Mike Malone. Really good roster, a deep roster. I do remember this team really winning basketball games. I mentioned this is the word of the podcast. Fundamentally winning basketball games the right way.
Yeah.
Some of their players were Bruce Brown, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green, Reggie Jackson, DeAndre Jordan, Michael Porter Jr., and Jamal Murray.
That's a squad right there.
That's an interesting squad. Yeah.
Deep squad.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this question. Who was the perfect role player on the championship team with Jokić?
Role player, because they fell off, you notice his absence in the next year in the playoffs. I'm going to say Bruce Brown, because I thought he was just kind of a glue guy, and he just fit the system really well. He added athleticism and hustle, and so I'm going to say Bruce Brown.
I just want to be different and shout out Christian Braun, because as a rookie, for him to even sniff minutes on the court in a playoff situation is a tribute to him. And I mean, clearly he was doing things that Denver needed, whether it was energy, defense, or finishing on the break. Because not necessarily the best shooter. Would you guys agree?
No.
But he was like a spark plug. And I think every championship team typically has that player off the bench that can bring energy when there's a lull or a sag in the offense. And so I'll go Christian Braun as someone who stands out.
I'm also going to be different, but I'm going to shout out Uncle Jeff here. Jeff Gordon. No, Jeff Green here. No, Jeff Green. Look, he allowed them to play Aaron Gordon at the center he played center and just playing a small ball center. Because let's look at their options. Their center depth since Mason Plumlee left has not been good for them. So having Jeff there as another big bodied power forward that can play either the 4 or the 5, or, play just having him. Jeff is not really a scorer at this point in his career. Now you have me wanting to say Jeff Gordon. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to give Jeff Gordon. Dang it, Jeff Green.
It's tough.
Because it took him a long time to get that championship, but he finally got it, and I'm proud of him.
Right. All right, so let me move on to last year's Denver Nuggets team, because they pretty much had the same record. Didn't go as far in the playoffs. I think we all admit they were upset by the Minnesota Timberwolves. They lost in Game 7 games to the Timberwolves. Same record, 57-25. So 3 more wins. Mike Malone still the coach. And some of their teammates were some of the same teammates, a couple different. Actually, it's pretty much the same team. Christian, it's the same team.
Same team, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Justin Holiday, Peyton Watson,
Julian Strawther.
Yeah, how did you even know that, Lucas?
Because Strawther is a weird last name.
He dominates Summer League.
So pretty much the same team. But you know what? Let me highlight some of his other players from other seasons. Maybe some players you just didn't forget. You forgot about. Do you guys remember DeMarcus Cousins played with Jokić?
And he was one of their better backups. I'm surprised they let him go.
Yeah.
Now
DeMarcus
he's playing
Cousins should still be in the league.
Yeah, he should. Him and Dwight should still be in the league.
You know who I feel bad for? You're talking about other teammates. Bones Highland. That dude got traded mid-season for Reggie Jackson, And I think he probably still got a ring, but he wasn't there when they won, and that stinks for players that get traded.
Yeah.
I remember he lit up the Sixers one time. Bones Highland.
He did.
Oh my God, we're like, who is this kid?
Isaiah Thomas played on the 18-19 Nuggets.
Did not know that.
Yeah, JaVale McGee.
Yeah, I knew that.
And I have a player here, and this is going to be my last question. There is a player who played with both Jokić and Duncan.
No way.
Can you guys name him?
I bet you Lucas can.
Lucas, can you name him?
Lucas, he's in deep
doing
thought
the math because I mean they did overlap briefly.
Oh man, come on!
Did this player win a championship? Did this player win a championship with Tim Duncan?
Lucas, I'm gonna mute you. Be quiet.
I think I'm gonna guess it.
Where's the mute button?
Ben, you go first.
I'm gonna say Bruce Bowen.
No, Bruce Bowen never played with Jokić. Bruce Brown did.
Yeah.
Can you give us a position?
Yeah, give us a position.
A forward.
Tim Duncan. Oh my god.
It's not Danny Green.
Jeff Green. It's Jeff Green.
No, Jeff never played with him for the Spurs.
No. All right.
It's not Danny Green.
Did he win a championship with the Spurs?
Probably Robert Ory. Dude,
if it's Robert Ory.
He won so many rings with so many different teams.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I have no clue here.
All right, so to answer your question, did he win a ring with the 2011 Spurs? They won the championship, right?
No, they didn't.
That was
2011 was Miami, I think.
Yeah,
they made the finals.
2011 was the Mavericks.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they beat Miami.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So I have no idea, dude. Tell us.
Yeah.
So the answer is Richard Jefferson.
Oh,
shut up!
He's right. Richard J. Rich was there for Richard Jefferson was there for a hot second before he retired.
I can imagine him on TV saying the similarities between both guys because he played with them both.
Yeah,
I think Richard Jefferson's an underrated
commentator. Yeah, he would say that. He's like, listen, so I've played with both. Yeah.
Richard Jefferson is hilarious.
He's a great commentator.
You remember? You guys seen the clip where there's a fan yelling at him in the stands, like, "Hey, Richard, can you give my wife a shout out?" He was like, "I'll text her." He was so quick with it. It was hilarious.
Richard Jefferson is savage.
I like him.
Watch out for J. Rich.
He even tried to be a referee. Shout out him.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, in Summer League, he tried to be referee.
You know, he looked like a referee, though. He really did.
He does look like a ref.
Yeah. All right, so real quick, is there any other teammates that stand out to you guys that's played with Nikola Jokić?
That played with Jokić.
Any teammates, random?
Jusuf Nurkic. I mean, we talked about it. Jusuf Nurkic was slated to be the next center of the Denver Nuggets. And then Jokić comes over from Europe and first they tried to play him behind Nurkic, and then Nurkic got injured. Nikola got in and just dominated, and they were like, oh, let's see if we can play them together. No. They ended up trading Nurkic. And Nurkic went on to have a solid career. It's not like he's a bad center.
No, he's a good center.
Right.
They just drafted really well, so I'm going to say the obvious, Jamal Murray. Murray had a couple playoff series where he averaged over 30 on 50, 40, 90. Mm-hmm. And, the duo of them, when they're locked in and healthy, they're one of the best duos in the league, if not offensively the best duo.
Yeah, I think they both complement each other really well. You have a player in Murray who can create for himself, has a crazy handle, crazy ability to finish at the rim. But you think about Jokić and you think about all the teammates that he's had, it's kind of like Shaq and Kobe. Whenever you've said Shaq with the Lakers, you think Kobe. So when you think of the Nuggets, you think of Jokić. You always think of Murray.
When you say Tim Duncan, you think Tony Parker.
Yeah, that's another one. Or David Robinson. But, we'll save that for the next segment.
I just wanted to shout out Bobo just because. Bobo. I think Bobo.
He never had a chance to be successful there.
I like Bobo. I think he's underused.
Yeah, he has a skill set.
He really can't defend. That's his problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, with that said, let's move on to Tim Duncan.
Now, there's another big man in San Antonio.
Hey, I was down on my knees just saying thank you, Lord. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. I mean, we played against him the year before. It was like 90. Yeah, I think it was 96. We played in the Olympic team. We played a college group of all-stars. And he played against me, Shaq, and Akeem. And he had like 22 and 10 and made it look so easy. And I just thought, that kid, I had never really seen him play. But I thought, that kid is so composed. He's amazing.
Twin Towers, that's what they called you guys. I mean, not the most original nickname of all time.
It's been thrown around a few times.
It's been used before in other instances, but that's what you were.
Yeah,
and what does having two big guys like that allow an offense to do other than the obvious, which you've got two huge?
Yeah, well, the good thing for us was having two guys who could actually shoot the ball as well and put the ball on the floor. So it really kind of spread our offense out.
All right, so that was David Robinson talking about Tim Duncan coming in and forming a Twin Towers, and he went on to win a couple championships. Tim Duncan drafted first overall in the 1997 NBA draft by the San Antonio Spurs. Their record was 56-26. Of course, coached by Greg Popovich. Funny enough, they were the second in the Midwest Division, so there was a team that had a better record than they did. That's just going to show you how competitive that Western Conference was.
Who?
Yeah.
Let me check. You want to know the answer, Lucas?
I have no idea.
It's got to be the Lakers.
No, they weren't in that
Midwest.
division.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Houston Rockets. It was probably the Houston Rockets.
No, at that point.
It was Utah.
Oh.
Utah Jazz,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they went to the finals.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
All right. So let's talk about some of his teammates this rookie season. Willie Burton. Here's some blast from passing names. Vinny Del Negro.
Hey, I remember him. He was the coach.
Yes, he was. There's another name. I've said his name a couple times in this pod. Jaren Jackson.
Senior, yes.
Senior, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Avery Johnson.
Of course.
Chuck Persons.
Don't know who that is.
Chuck Person?
Yeah.
There's a person with the last name Person as their last name.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Chuck Person.
Come on, Lucas. You can't be that young.
Avery Johnson.
I am that young.
You've never heard of Chuck Persons?
No.
Indiana Pacers. He associated with Barkley. I think he went to Auburn.
Yeah.
Or
I think
Alabama.
he did with Barkley.
Yeah, he went to Auburn. Sean Elliott.
Okay.
I always liked Sean Elliott's game. He was like that. One of the original
solid player. Yeah.
Solid player, yeah. David Robinson, of course. Malik Rose. And Monty Williams.
Coach Monty.
They had a couple coaches on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was the beginning right here. It didn't take them long to win a championship. And by the way, this was a strike-shortened season, so their record was 37-13.
Mm-hmm.
On that championship team, and we talked about this with the Dave Robinson episode, they beat the Knicks, Patrick Ewing, in the NBA Finals. Some of their teammates were Antonio Daniels.
I remember him on the Wizards.
Guard, good guard.
Yep. Combo guard.
A player who came from another winning team, Mario Ellie.
Oh, that's right. He did wear the black and gray. Nice.
Mario Ellie was a nice little shooter, too. Steve Kerr, another coach. Jerome Kersey, Will Perdue, and, like I mentioned, Dave Robinson and Malik Rose. This was a nice team. I think Duncan would have better teammates later on in his career on the championship teams. But for this season, strike-shortened season, they had the chemistry. They had the same players and a great coach. And they won an NBA championship. By the way, they beat the Timberwolves, the Lakers, the Trailblazers to get to the NBA Finals.
Wow.
That Trailblazers team, who was that, like the last
Rasheed Wallace.
They were really good. They had Sabonis, Damon Stoudemire, Rasheed Wallace. Brian Grant was really good. Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Did a couple other guys. They were really deep.
Was Pippen on the team? I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was.
All right, so let me ask you guys this question. So far in his career, who's complimented Tim Duncan's game the most? I think this might be obvious, but I want to hear you guys' opinion.
You mean up to this point?
Yes,
So not the Tony Parker team. All right, so up to this point, wow. Oh, I mean, it's easy to say David Robinson, because when you have a Twin Towers duo like that, I mean, whatever Robinson doesn't get to in the paint in terms of protection and defensive packages, Duncan is right there. Like, they could rely on each other. Two great anchors, two great guys who know how to play defense. Ben always mentions IQ. I think because Robinson at that point had been in the league almost a decade, his IQ is something that can rub off on this younger version of Tim Duncan. And he was like the perfect mentor. So I think in that mentorship role, I think you have a complementary player defensively.
Okay. Lucas?
I'll jump on the bandwagon here and say give the easy answer. I'm okay with that.
Dave Robinson? Okay.
Yeah.
Ben?
That's right. That's a good choice, Lucas. This bandwagon is going places, man.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about the 99 championship because the Lakers were so dominant the next 3 years, literally.
Yes.
You forget how good young Tim Duncan was with David Robinson still being a 20-10 guy, even post-surgery. So this team was really special. When you name the names like Sean Elliott, Avery Johnson was a really cool player. He was fun to watch. You kind of rooted for him. Really tough guy. So, yeah, that team, it was like Tim and a lot of veterans. I think Robert Horry joined that team at some point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Steve Kerr was on it. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
So Steve Kerr was on that team too. So, yeah, different iteration, but fun to see. And that Knicks series was really cool. It was a really, really fun NBA Finals.
I wanted to give a shout out to Sean Elliott because he had some big shots when he was with the Spurs. Really undervalued player. It's a shame his career got cut short. I think he had kidney issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
his game would be more rewarded in today's league. Like a taller wing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the 04-05 championship team. This team won 59 games, 23 losses. They were first in the Southwest at that point division. Some of their teammates were different iteration. Kind of the roster is kind of like, except for like one or two players, the roster is kind of changed. Brett Barry, Bruce Bowen, Manu Ginobili, Robert Horry.
Big shot pop.
Yeah. Now, this is Sean Marks. Lucas, is this a Sean Marks that wanted to be GM?
Sean Marks?
Yeah, Sean Marks did play for the Spurs briefly.
Okay.
That's why, because before he went as the Nets GM, I believe he worked in the Spurs front office too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nazir Muhammad.
I remember him.
Tony Parker. Now, I forgot Glenn Robinson was on this team.
I did too.
Glenn
Robinson.
Big Dog?
Big Dog? Yes, Big Dog.
Big Dog? Wait a minute. Big Dog that's... Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know he was on that team.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Big Baby. Sorry.
Yeah.
Two completely different players.
Yeah,
one more skilled than the other, yeah.
Is one of them in jail right now?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, we don't need to talk anymore about Big Baby.
Yeah, we won't do that yet.
Yeah.
Wish him well.
All right. Malik Rose and Tony Mussenberg. I just remember their name. I always like their name, Mussenberg. Yeah, so this was a completely different iteration of the Spurs championship team. Dave Robinson's retired. They're starting to play more so the Popovich style of, passing the ball around, getting the best shot. This was a really cool team. So let me ask you guys this. I'm going to ask the same question I asked about Jokić. Who won the most games with Tim Duncan? And I'm going to give you an over-under of 865. 865 wins.
Okay.
A lot of wins. A lot of W's.
I think the easy answer here is Tony Parker.
Over under.
I'm going to say under because I know Tony got injured for a year.
Okay.
I'm going to say Ginobili and under.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Ginobili under.
All right, so the answer is actually Lucas. You got it right.
That's right.
Congratulations.
This is my era, guys. Don't you forget it.
Okay.
It is Tony Parker he's actually under. It's 864.
That's what I said under too, yep.
Okay. 864. Yeah, that's a lot of wins. They played 15 seasons together.
Wow.
He played 14 seasons with Manu Ginobili, who was number 2, with 756. So that little 3 right there accounted for a lot of wins.
I think they still have either the first or second most wins among 3 players that played together for any. It's either them or the Golden State Trio.
I think I heard, I might get this wrong, so pardon me, but I think I heard that Tim Duncan has the most wins with the same franchise. It's like over 1,000 wins.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
That could be, like him and Kobe and Reggie, like those guys, but Tim's so much longer he played, I think.
We're going to move on, but I do want to acknowledge the 06-07 team, who also won an NBA championship. But I am going to skip ahead to the 2013-2014 team, who that was their last championship with Tim Duncan. They won 62 games that year, 20 losses.
Was LaMarcus on that team?
I'll get to it.
He's about to get to it.
No, I was asking. I'm asking. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
To answer your question, no, he wasn't.
Okay.
Because he came after Duncan retired. He was kind of like their Duncan replacement.
Okay.
I remember
that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I thought they played a season together or 2. My bad.
Yeah.
No, it was a year after Duncan retired that they.
He got
That's
traded
right, because he was supposed to go to Phoenix, and then he spurned Phoenix for San Antonio.
He should have stayed in Portland. Looking back,
Yeah.
he should have.
Yeah, I agree.
So, 62 wins, 20 losses, really good roster, a lot of wins. They went through the Mavericks, they went through the Portland Trail Blazers, and they also went through a young Oklahoma City Thunder team to get to the finals and beat the Miami Heat, the Big Three, 4-1. So this was a really good Spurs team. Some of his teammates were Marco Bellinelli.
Hey, Marco.
Shannon Brown.
I remember Shannon Brown.
Danny Green.
Yes.
Danny was good.
Crucial player.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good player.
Yeah, he was really good.
Corey Joseph.
Yep. Remember
He
him?
was solid.
Patty Mills.
Oh, the best Australian player in the NBA right now.
All right. Tiago Splitter.
I remember him.
Their biggest acquisition 2 years ago, but their biggest acquisition for this team, Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
They stole him from the Pacers for George Hill.
Yep.
And a player that I always liked. You could say he's like kind of like a poor man's Jokić, Boris Diaw.
Oh yeah, Boris. I always felt like he played out of position.
He had a really good game for a big man. He was only 6'8", but
he was like a power forward center. It was weird. He had a
pretty
weird
versatile. Yeah.
The pass. Yeah.
I think on Basketball Reference, he's listed as a small forward, power forward center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was on the Suns, right?
Yeah, he was part of that 5 seconds or less Suns. Yeah.
I
mean, 7 seconds or less.
Yeah. So this was a really complete team. Defensively, they were really good. Young Kawhi was still coming up, hungry. He won the MVP, the Finals MVP, against the Heat. He was needed because they needed a wing defender against LeBron and D Wade. So, of all of the teammates Tim Duncan has played with, which player stands out the most to you guys?
It's Tony Parker. I mean, no, like, in all seriousness, no. I mean, like, look,
you said
you
that
could say
so
David,
confidently.
Look, you could say David Robinson,
but
like, David Robinson was only there for, like, the first 5 or 6 years of his career.
True.
Tony was there since 2001 to 2000, like, the year that he retired?
The most seasons, 15 seasons.
Yeah, 15 seasons. Like, that's a guy that, you know, they stuck with because they almost didn't. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a time where they thought George Hill was going to be taking over for Tony Parker.
Right.
It didn't happen. Tony Parker bounced back, but like they won so many championships together, and it's just like I think of Tim Duncan, I think of Tony Parker.
Okay.
Like I said that earlier when we were talking about Jamal Murray and Jokić.
I'm going to go David Robinson simply because you've heard a lot of players and coaches say that Duncan was always very raw. He had the talent, he had the drive and commitment to the game, but to learn how to play in the front court next to, and we did this episode last week, David Robinson, there's so many things, countless things that you can't even quantify, or you look at just how to be a pro, not just X's and O's. So I think with David Robinson, bringing him up in that system, I think probably one of the most important teammates that he's ever had.
I'll go other end, and I'll go as the last 5 years of his career, and I'll say Kawhi Leonard. Ceiling-wise, obviously David Robinson was kind of older, but it's probably the most talented player he played with. Now Duncan was not as talented, but I would say that was definitely the most talented. The last couple years he got with Kawhi Leonard, that was his second best option, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Kawhi Leonard.
I don't think they win that championship without Kawhi Leonard.
No, and Maurice, it's crazy. The guys, like, you just casually like, yeah, they beat like OKC, like MVP Kevin Durant, and then they beat the Miami Heat in 5. It's like, what? That team is pretty locked in. They obviously had amazing wings and Danny Green, but Kawhi winning Finals MVP, that was when he started ascending.
Yeah,
and
so I'm gonna go. Team, actually, I think
it became his team, and I think to kind of what you're asking is like who's the most, I think talent wise, that was his best second option, even though he wasn't at his best. It still was his best second option.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to Manu Ginobili. Might be a future episode, but one of the best European players, one of the best guards. Even though he came off the bench, he still put in the minutes. One of the best guards.
He's from
Argentina. Argentina, yeah.
Yeah, so all right. International.
Lucas brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so with that said, that's it for Tim Duncan's teammates. Let's get out of here.
Now that we've given you all the facts on Nikola Jokić and Tim Duncan, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion, it's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform, ready to check out your takes. Chime in on Instagram at NBA_now_and_then_pod, on X at NBA_NBA now and then, and on our Facebook and YouTube page, NBA Now and Then.
For the sources of information used on this episode, you can visit our website, www.nbanowandthen.com. Also, visit our website to sign up for our monthly newsletter and check out our comparison articles. I think we're done talking Nikola Jokić and Tim Duncan. We'll be back next time with another great comparison. This has been NBA Now and Then. Peace.
See you. Later.
Bruce Brown, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Aaron Gordon, Jeff Gordon, Reggie Jackson, DeAndre Jordan,
Jeff Green.
Yeah, what did I say?
No, you said Jeff Gordon.
Oh, that's a racer, right?
The race car driver.
NASCAR racer. Yeah.